if we're thinking about mental health as an emergent property of a brain, I think our brain health is not as good as it could be for various reasons. I think like the literal organ underpinning our mental health is much more vulnerable than it could be.
Obviously, why is that?
I think my position is that there's a huge nutritional insufficiency. We have terrible diets. And the way that we see so for example, we're seeing children with metabolic disease, children with type 2 diabetes, children with dental caries. If we can understand that nutrition has an effect on physical health and physical health outcomes, why would we not assume, believe, understand that the hungriest organ in the body with an incredibly high nutritional demand might suffer similar outcomes?
What food does my brain need?
So much food. I'll try to be concise. So if we start with the fact that your brain is made of food, obviously all of you is made of food, but we sometimes forget that. I always say that because I think sometimes we forget. We tend to think of our bodies as, or nutrition just as calories. My body needs energy.
Yes, no, that's sort of how I perceive it.
But everything that is you is made from food. Everything, when you were being made.
It's so mad. Like you're saying it, I'm going, I don't know where I've been the last.
Right? Yes, so in the womb, you were made up of the bits of toast and chicken and beans that your mother was consuming.
And Johnny Walker. Black label, unfortunately.
Well, this is absolutely the point, right? Because if we know that, for example, that things like alcohol and nicotine and caffeine can affect development in pregnancy, then nutrition too. Right?
Yes, of course, yeah.
So the brain is made of particular fats that have to come from the diet, omega-3 fats called DHA and EPA. And they are, if you think about the brain like a house, every second or third brick is omega-3. So if you're not getting enough of those foods during pregnancy, what we see is babies born with smaller brains that are less well connected. We know that.
Wow.
For sure, right? The World Health Organization calls iodine deficiency, the leading cause of preventable brain damage worldwide, right? The leading cause of preventable brain damage across the globe, because iodine kickstarts development of your organs during pregnancy, and the brain is one of the very first organs to start developing. In areas where there's low iodine consumption, population IQ can be suppressed by about 15 points permanently. And at its extreme, iodine deficiency used to be called cretinism.
So I just quickly want to ask you about IQ, because I knew this from when my kids were at school. I don't know how I learned it, but so many people are of the impression that if your IQ is this, you can raise it. That's not the case with IQ. You can raise it a little bit, or it can go down a little bit, either way. But your IQ is your IQ.
Pretty much, but we think a big chunk of IQ is linked to literally the structure, the connectivity in the brain.
Right.
And that is laid down in the womb.
In the womb.
And so we know about iodine, for example, but then there was a study in the UK which found that 67% of pregnant British women had mild to moderate iodine deficiency. So it's really well known around the world. The World Health Organization says make sure you've got enough iodine, and yet most women in this country aren't getting enough.
But I've had 3 children and I didn't. This is the first time I've heard that.
And it's extraordinary.
That is quite mad. We all know about folic acid. You take that beforehand.
See, and this is it. So with folic acid and vitamin D, folic acid to reduce the risk of neural tube defects, absolutely. But that's not the only nutrient that reduces the risk of neural tube defects. Choline is another nutrient found in egg yolks, which does the same thing. And in fact, we think perhaps they might kind of work together to support that. Nobody gets told about choline. When women are supplemented with choline during pregnancy, their children have better sustained attention at ages 7 and 11 because their brains have that much more connectivity.